if you look at the technological trends in the last, I would say a couple of decades, 1-2 decades, right? So from the time internet has taken over as storm, right, across the industry, it's not just education. Everything is deeply affected, right, including education. But I think the industry has taken it as a kind of a opportunity to grow rather than like an impediment. So they have taken this as an opportunity to grow instead of taking it as a kind of a deviation or disruption. So that way, everybody has actually adapted it well. Okay, be it the education industry, the government also was in favor of making policy changes in line with that. Of course, students have been very digital savvy of late. So I think for the students, it has been very easy, and the education sector has made tremendous changes with respect to the course curriculum or the kind of digital campuses, the flexibility in the kind of the self-paced learning and all that. So you have a kind of a credit transfer opportunities. You have micro credentials. Earlier you used to go through a complete course to get a certificate. Now you can select a small topic of your interest or what you want and then do a micro certification, right? So there's a lot of changes with respect to how the education industry has adapted itself with respect to the technological changes. So if you look at the government policy as well, if you look at the NEP, right, National Education, which has come out in 2020, right? So it talks about vocational training. It talks about vernacular training. So it need not be your regular English based. So you can learn in your own language. So there is lot of flexibility now than before, and technology is being used to the fullest in the education industry, and it is poised to grow a lot. So the market's research says we'll touch $30 billion by 2030. So that's a big number, right? And if you look at India's growth trajectory as well, it is one of the fastest growing nations in the world, right? So if you look at the GDP rate and all that, all this is being fired or basically fueled by education, right? So that is how technology and education are going in parallel. And I look forward for the next 5 years also, this will go on, and there will be some more changes with respect to the emerging technologies. If you talk about AI, Gen AI, or you talk about robotics, you talk about IoT, you talk about industrial IoT. So there are a lot of changes that are going to come in the next 5 years. Obviously, for a leader, there needs to be a very clear vision, what they would do or the path they would tread in the next 5 years or so, I think. But at the same time, you cannot just jump around and try to grab everything in the first instance. I think you look at the best practices in the industry, talk with the partners, technology partners, okay, be it the cloud or be it the software providers or the implementers. So have open conversations, have a kind of a consultative approach, take in the best practices, don't grab everything, jump on everything, take it little, but take it by pieces. But when you do it, do in such a way that you establish your base and then improve on it. You don't just jump and then all around and it may not be successful. So what I'm saying is, you start small but think big. And you should have the vision to scale it up in the next 5 years. I think this is very important from a leadership perspective with respect to looking at the 5 years into the future. I think that is one important takeaway I would talk about. Okay, I think I was talking in the inaugural address as well. So I think there are three key players in this overall journey, technology-led transformation, right? We are at the cusp of such a situation that all these things, all these teams need to come together. One is your technology partners like us. Then you have the government, which will actually make policies, design policies in such a way that they will speed up or accelerate this transformation. And the third one is academia or your education system or your educators. They need to really take this into stride and then go along with the tide and see that we become successful in our journey. So I think here the collaboration happens between, it's a threefold collaboration, I would say, the education sector, the government, as well as the technology partners. This is the second set of events that we are having, right? So I think it's being organized very well by ET. we have a great inaugural session with stalwarts from various industry segments that they have given their ideas, their thoughts, and very inspiring thoughts. And the theme is actually apt for the today's events that are following. So we have great panel discussions, mega panel discussions. We have booths talking about various technology providers there. I mean, that's one thing. And then in the middle, you have big presentations followed by big panel discussions. I think this will be very useful for the attendees of this event. I hope ET will come forward with more events like this in the future.